I will be coming from Esther 4:13 and 6. Mordecai sent this reply to Esther. Don't think for a moment, I believe from reading from the New Living Translation, I'm sorry. Mordecai sent this reply to Esther. Don't think for a moment that because you're in the palace, you will escape when all other Jews are killed. If you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place. But you and your relatives will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this? Then Esther sent this reply to Mordecai. Go and gather together all the Jews of Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, day or night. My maids and I will do the same. And then, though it is against the law, I will go in and see the king. If I must die, I must die. My topic this morning is righteous determination. The story of Queen Esther is very familiar Bible story, often used to illustrate Queen Esther's faith and bravery with her famous line of, y'all say it with me, if I perish, I perish. Now, if I'm honest, I would love to say that on behalf of my family and my people. I'd have that if I gotta die, trying to save us mentality, but I don't really know that I would. And the reality is, none of us do either. None of us could know what we would do in that situation unless we're faced with it. And then here in verse 13, Mordecai, who raised Esther, so he was like her father, was stressed out. He heard the proclamation had been ordered that the Jews would be killed, and there was nothing that he could do. While he hadn't told Esther, Esther noticed his panic and talked to him and found out why. Then she began to put a plan in motion. So while studying the book of Esther, what I fell in love with most about her is that Queen Esther was credited for being a ride or die. She was credited for putting on a brave face. She was credited for seemingly ready to do what she had to do. But what I later found out is that she had no intention of dying or letting her people die either. How I figure? Come on with me. Well, as I read this, I put all the pieces together, and she went into the situation with the recipes for success. First, she was a virgin. She was pure, so that qualified her to get into the palace and into the king's presence from the start. Second, she was identified as a descendant of the tribe of Benjamin, which were known to be warrior-like people. They were skilled in slinging rocks and left-hand fighting. She knew how to throw hands. On third, she made everyone she was fighting for fast with her. Even her maids, those who were in her closest quarters, she knew she needed to be covered. But she not only needed backup, she needed the right backup. And the last ingredient she had in this I'm not gonna die salad was that she decided no matter the outcome, I will make my request known. She had righteous determination. So after reading this, I got really excited, y'all, because I was like, okay. And then verse 14 screamed out at me, and it said, who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this? Yes, there was a possibility under the law that she could fail, but by being where she was supposed to be and having all that God placed inside of her, there was no way that she would. And this morning, who knows if we were made for just a time as this? Who knows? But what I know is, like Esther, we have some deadly proclamations that we are facing in our daily lives. No one man is trying to physically kill us, but the devil is sending demons and minions after our minds. He's sending them after our families, after our jobs, after our bodies. We all have areas where we are under attack, and that's when we must lean into and activate our righteous determination. Righteous is defined as morally right or justifiable. And determination is also defined as a process of establishing something exactly by calculation and research. Simply put, we have the right and we have the means. Like Queen Esther, we are qualified because we've been made pure by the blood of the Lamb. We are identified by our Father which art in heaven because we are the children of God. We are here at BETH-EL connected to the right backup. We know who to call. Like in Acts 2 and 14, we have 2 and 8 and 27, we have the greatest intercessor, which is the Holy Ghost. And finally, we have the righteous, God-given, rooted and grounded determination to make our requests known to the one true King, King Jesus. We have the recipe to stand tall, to come through every circumstance by activating our righteous determination daily. We know we can take every request to the King, every issue, every life-changing challenge, and every life-changing decree to King Jesus. Esther had the mindset, if I perish, I perish. She didn't have access to King Xerxes, and she stood firm, and he stood firm in his, if I don't come for you, if I don't send for you, don't come for me energy. He was not easily accessible. She couldn't just walk in and talk to him whenever she felt like it, but we have unlimited blood-bought access to the King of Kings. We have access to Jesus to take him every problem, every issue, and it is just our right. So let's stand tall knowing that we've been qualified, identified, and equipped to walk in our righteous determination.